Hello and welcome to our next bicycle adventure. Deb and I just spent 2 days traveling from Victor to here to our hotel in Fairfield, California, where tomorrow morning we're going to start a 5-day journey up through the Napa Valley, across the Santa Rosa, south across the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge through San Francisco, south Bay Area, and then we're going to come north back to our hotel here in Fairfield. We're really excited about the trip. We're traveling light as usual, staying in hotels. We have one pannier assigned to Deb, and she has all of her stuff laid out. And then we have our camera gear to document our journey. And then I have my stuff that I'm bringing for my bike stuff. The weather's looking really warm, so we're not bringing any rain gear or extra booties. So we're really excited about this extended summer in the month of October. So what do you think, Deb?
Well, I'm really happy that Kevin does all this planning down to the mileage for the day, the elevation, make sure it's going to work for both of us. And he's got one of his Ironman shirts on, and I have my glass of wine at 5 o'clock, and that's pretty much how it goes in our house. That he does
Ironman
this
cup, yeah.
detailed planning, which really makes a difference. That we have everything, we've double checked everything, and to the best of our ability, we'll have a wonderful time.
Yep. Deb and I are really excited to begin our journey starting here from the Homewood Suites. Today's plan is for 45.9 miles beginning here in Fairfield, California, traversing for 5 miles on highway, then some bike paths getting us into Napa, and then from there we're going to be on the Silverado Trail to Calistoga, which is our first night stay. We're really excited for the trek. However, not all things go as planned, and it turns out that the camera here that I'm holding, somehow all of the images that I recorded for this day got erased between now and our stay in Calistoga. Thankfully, from that point forward, everything came out okay. It's a mystery, but the adventure continues. Well, we just left the cafe, and well, actually we found out right at the cafe, a fellow came up to us and said there was a cyclist that got killed about a quarter mile past the cafe they were at.
A tragedy in Napa County today left 2 bicyclists dead. Sky 7 was over the scene on Silverado Trail, just south of Oak Knoll Avenue. The CHP says a lumber truck was driving along the road when its load shifted and knocked into the cyclist. Sounds like something must have fallen out, and the cyclists were riding by at that moment. Investigators don't know yet if the driver will be cited. The truck is registered to Central Valley Lumber. Silverado Trail was shut down for several hours while officers investigated. It has now reopened.
So we continued on this Silverado Trail and quickly got stopped by the county officials, which caused us or forced us to turn around. And then we did this crossover here, and now we're on this bike trail, which is actually only goes for a little bit along this Highway 29, a busy highway, but it's a nice trail for now. It goes to a town I think called Yonville. Not exactly sure yet, and then after that we need to kind of figure out whether we go back to the Silverado Trail or whether we go stay on this highway and try to ride the shoulder into Calistoga. So that's kind of where we are. Really sad news. We were probably about 15 minutes behind the cyclist that got killed. So now we're on this route here, and if I show, so I think we got on somewhere in here, and then we're going up to this, I guess this is Yonville, and then there's a future trail that continues up here to Calistoga.
So, but I think we're going to end about here, and then we have to figure out how to get across, whether we're going to do this Oakville, this 128, it looks like the quickest way over, but then this Zinfandel looks like also another option before we get there. But by there, we're almost all the way to Calistoga. So kind of a sad start to our first day of the ride.
Okay, we've concluded our trip today, and it was from up through the Napa Valley, and it was not as enjoyable of a journey as we had hoped it to be. About 2 miles outside of Napa on the Silverado Trail Road, there was a bicycle fatality. We stopped, and our stop would have probably got us through, but by the time we got there, they had closed the road. And we ended up with about a 5-mile detour, which was actually quite nice. It sent us over to a bike trail and then back to this Silverado Trail Road, which is kind of a main road between Calistoga and Napa, so it has a lot of arterial traffic. And about 2 miles from Calistoga, there was a 1-car accident on a twisty section of road. This lady looked like she ran it right into the bank and flipped her car over, and we probably arrived there just within a minute or two after it had happened. And but we didn't stop, we just kept going, and then the emergency vehicles came within about 5 minutes after that. So we're here, we have a nice place right here. It's a brewery, kind of a sort of a bed and breakfast kind of hotel type of place to stay at. Beautiful room, and we're happy to arrive safely. And I say by most part, if it wasn't for the accidents, it was actually, we probably would have regarded this route as quite nice because it had wide shoulders, and it wasn't too bad. We really didn't have any close calls. So, but yeah, I had a fatality plus an injury to a lady that.
It looks like more cars than one car.
A lot of cars, yeah. So anyway, but
altogether about 6 emergency vehicles, fire engine, ambulance, police in the day, and just added stress. It's not even 3 o'clock, and we've arrived. I got my wine glass, no wine in it yet, but that's coming. We have a lovely room and beautiful little courtyard here in the shade to relax tonight. Calm everything down.
Yep. So we're
look
looking
forward to tomorrow.
Shower up and refuel and rest, and we'll head out tomorrow. Looking forward to day 2 tomorrow.
Good morning. We're a couple of minutes away from our 9 a.m. start, and happy birthday, Kevin.
Oh,
It's a new day. We're looking forward to a good workout with a hill climb this morning, and Kevin has the rest of the details.
Yeah, so we're beginning day 2, and today we're going to go from Calistoga, which was a wonderful experience. We really enjoyed the lodging we had here, which was a nice cottage out back of the restaurant and brewery they have, which is right downtown on the main street, and just a lot of really pretty venues. It was a very relaxing evening. A lot of people able to just sit outside and dine and stay warm and with, just
Perfect temperature.
yeah, with, kind of Deb was wearing her skirt and not a problem, and definitely Teton Valley we would be cold once the sun started to set. Anyway, so today is a long day, 63 miles. We have a big climb in the morning, a little bit nervous about the road. It's a uphill climb, about, well, maybe 1,000 to 1,200 foot climb. And then from there, we're gonna go downhill into Santa Rosa, and then from there we'll probably have mostly rural roads heading towards San Francisco, and tonight we'll stay outside of San Francisco before we do the Bay Bridge on our third day. So pretty excited, very tentative about the traffic. We're hoping it's going to be better than expected, and we're definitely taking all of our precautions. So looking forward to a good day.
So we're at the end of the bike lane here, and this cute little winery came up, so we decided to stop. And they want you to get married here. And then Deb's.
Happy birthday, Kevin. I would marry you again.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yep.
Have some adventures. Some of them are a little on the edge of my comfort zone.
Yeah, so we got kind of a tenacious section here ahead, and so we'll see how this goes for getting into Santa Rosa. We should be pretty close. Okay, we're about 2 miles from our hotel, and we're on this new bike path going through this tunnel, which this is some of the stuff we did not see back in 2007. Kind of a major commuter route here, and it's cool. You know, it's been in the 80s today. This feels about 65 in here. Very nice. So we just left the tunnel behind us, and probably now really close to our hotel. We did about almost 2,500 feet of climbing today in mid-80 temperature, and we're starting to enjoy these bike paths that have been created due to the light rail. So you can see the light rail is right next to us over here, and then so it's just a bike path dedicated for us to take us to our hotel. Good morning. We finished our ride last night, day 2, around 6 o'clock. It was pretty much the end of the day, and tailing towards the end of my birthday yesterday. We had a wonderful dinner last night. Went to a fish place for dinner and got back, and we stayed here in Corte Madera, and right now we're sitting out by the pool. I was hoping to swim, but energy wise is, I'd say, probably 100% reserved just for doing the biking today, which today is going to be 55 miles. We're heading south, and we're hoping to get to Redwood City, which is our destination, and I think all should go well. Right now this hotel is right next to the 101 freeway, so you can probably hear some of the traffic noise in this video right here. And the highlight of this morning will be traveling to the Golden Gate Bridge and crossing over that, and then across San Francisco. And so we're really looking forward to it, doing a lot of touring this morning and just having a lot of fun. So
Tour on.
yep, are you ready?
Tour on.
We're touring around. Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday's 4.2 earthquake alert we looked up was in Sacramento and Bay Area. But
Oh, okay.
not that we felt anything at all.
So near where we parked our car.
Mm,
Yeah.
that'll be smashed by the time we get back to it.
Yeah. So, other than that, it's going to be a beautiful day. Probably record highs here for San Francisco. It's supposed to be 88 degrees today, but the high temperature is not going to reach until about 5 o'clock at night. So, but it's full on, really warm summer. Very unusual for this area this time of year. And I remember in 2007 when we came down here, it was the middle of September when we finished our ride, and it was warm. We were surprised at how warm it was in San Francisco then, and it was 72 degrees when we were there. So our temperatures just keep going up.
Yeah, no clouds, no fog.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So. Okay, we're beginning our ride. Our room is right behind us. It's kind of a place that I would say was established in the 1960s, and something I probably would have come to with my parents when I was a kid. But other than that, it was a nice day, and we're excited for today. Already really warm. Feels about 70 degrees. And so all in all, and here's
Debbie.
yeah, she's ready to go. Exciting. Right next to the 101, but we're not riding on the 101. We are now heading down from the viewpoint that we were just at and heading down towards the lower viewpoint. Big wind out of the north today. As you can see, those flags are blowing quite taunt, and that's the direction we're heading. And coming, and then onto the bridge here, just about across this concrete pylon right here, and now we are on the bridge. And then here we're coming up onto the first pier, or we'd call that the North Pier. There went another big bus, big tour bus. And then we have to sidewalk around this pier really tight to make this corner right here. And all structural steel, rivets. That's the way they used to make them. Just a porta potty there shows there's constant activity all the time on the bridge to keep it maintained and keep it in working order. And then now we're coming up to another tour bus. Debbie likes to wave to it. Suspended off of this. The bridge deck is suspended off of that big, huge pipe holding all the cables. Beautiful view to the east. Lots of cyclists. Pedestrians and cyclists, that was tight right there. here is the South Pier, coming up on it right now. Another really tight squeeze around. And then here's the commemorative plaques for the bridge. Here's the 25th anniversary, 1937 to 1962, 25 years. We're now coming up on 100. And now we're ready to go. And around the corner we go here. We made it. And off to the end of the bridge. And there's the South Pier in the distance. So at the south side, there's just a lot more pedestrians and cyclists, just because I think that just because of San Francisco, there's just easier. And then here we're leaving the bridge and down onto the trail.
So right in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, and just went across, a little more precarious than what it was in 2007. It seems that there's more people on cell phones than there really weren't then. But in all, we got across safely, and for some reason only the east side of the bridge is open for pedestrians and bicycles, and then after 3:30 bikes can go on the west side. So unfortunately we weren't able to go on the west side today, which is the way that it was trying to map us. But other than that, it was a beautiful journey. There's Alcatraz off to the left.
Are you thinking of going for a swim, Kevin?
It was recommended that I should do the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon, but it may not be in my cards.
Biker passing.
There we
Keep
go.
it upright.
What do you say, Deb?
Let's keep it upright.
Keep it upright.
That's what I always say.
Yep.
I got one more fall off this tandem.
One fall to go and we're all done.
We got a few more days of bicycling.
Yeah.
Look at the dog party.
Pretty day. And
Don't go.
there's a dog party off to the left. Lots of runners. We're coming into Fisherman's Wharf here in a little bit, and just a really nice bike path. I just don't remember this bike path back in 2007 when we came here last time.
They probably established this dog park.
Yeah, so this whole area is really nice now, where I feel that we were up through the barracks and more on roads. So just the whole route coming down here and then crossing the bridge just feels so much different than what we used to know from, boy, 16 years ago, I guess it was. So quite a while. Yep, looking ahead, kind of see the downtown.
We got to Fisherman's Wharf and looked around a little and found a place with a Dungeness crab sandwich. Can't wait to take a bite of it.
How is it? Is it what you always imagined?
Yes, very good.
Comes with some French fries and another section there.
It is really good bread.
And sourdough.
Just traveled through the Embarcadero, and then we were just about ready to go under the Oakland Bay Bridge, which is just ahead of us as we head south today. We're just riding along and cross this channel or canal, and if I show you, we were on the other side along this walkway, and unbeknownst to us, it's Giant Stadium. So we didn't notice that until we came across this side. So quite spectacular. Well, I'd say we probably went about 1 mile, and we're on this really nice bike path here, and this is right along the water, and they look like they're really completely revitalizing the waterfront. But over my other shoulder, which is even more spectacular here, is this Chase Stadium, or Chase, oops, this is the Chase Center. Big bollards in front. I'm not totally sure who plays here or whether it's just performances. Oh, so it's where the Warriors play for basketball. Oh my gosh. So we've just arrived at the site of the old Candlestick Park, and there is just nothing here anymore. It's all demolished, and there's a park off to my left here, which looks like a bunch of day men hang out not doing anything all day. And other than that, I think this whole site is waiting for redevelopment. Deb, have anything to add?
Oh, we missed the good sign.
Just a good sign. She got a picture of it. What was the picture?
No, it said about security. So to arrive 75 minutes ahead of game time to allow going through security. So it must have been at the early stages of having to do any kind of security going into a public event. So that's what the sign said. Something like that.
Yesterday afternoon concluded with I would say probably an arduous ride. After the Candlestick Park, we were, by most part, not seeing anywhere to stop. There was lots of businesses and lots of housing, and we had some really nice trails, but there was just no commerce, nowhere to stop. I really felt like I emptied the tank towards the end of the day. Finally, around 5 o'clock, we found a Wendy's and stopped there. I had a couple hamburgers to get us for the last 4 or 5 miles just back to our room here. Have a really nice hotel here at the Best Western, probably one of the nicer ones. I had the least expectations of this place, but it's a wonderful community, a nice Mexican tienda across the street, and lots of wonderful foods and stuff. And we went to the grocery store yesterday and grabbed a little bit of that, and then came back here and just spent the afternoon or the evening. in the room. I would say yesterday our ride didn't conclude until 6:30 or so. So
Yeah, it was evening. We, looking ahead, we hadn't really been able to find anywhere to go to dinner that we could walk to, and I was not about to get on the bike and go scout out a restaurant. So it's too bad. I don't know if Google searched that this grocery store had a nice offering of prepared food in there, so we would have chosen that. But today's looking a little cloudy compared to yesterday, and quite a bit, did they say 20 degrees cooler?
yeah, it's 20 degrees cooler today. Yesterday it was still probably almost 90 degrees at 6 o'clock last night. So really warm for here. And today is supposed to be in probably the mid to upper 70s. So much cooler, 20 degrees cooler. And today we have a planned ride of about 59 miles. Yesterday we had a planned ride of 55 that turned into 59. So we'll just have to see if we make some wrong turns and how much more it adds. As for elevation gain, pretty much zero or nil. And then we're going to see Stanford, Palo Alto, and then we're going to do some trails. 30% of the ride today is supposed to be on unpaved trails, so that's a little bit of a pioneering exercise again, because we don't know how good the surfaces are, and we hope they're not too soft. We hope they're more like what we saw on the Katy Trail. But yeah, looking forward to today. So, yep.
The adventure continues.
We're right here at the first Stanford pool. This is actually the small facility, and I believe the next one we're going to see is, I think, 2 or 3 pools. But quite an elaborate setup here, and looks like fun. Everyone swimming this morning. So now we're at the Avery Stadium swim facility. This is a very grand swim facility event. There's a 50-meter pool right behind me. Off to our left is, I think, another warm-up pool, and then behind us, which we can't see, it looks like a dive facility. So just very impressive here at Stanford. Be a wonderful place to swim. So we just came upon the Palo Alto bicycle shop, and in 1979, when I first started bicycling, the Palo Alto bike shop was one of the first bicycle catalogs that I had gotten in the mail, and I used to look at that, and they used to have these black shorts that came really low on your knees. At that time we were wearing short tennis shorts. This is the first time I've ever seen Palo Alto bicycles in person, and I'm going to step inside and see what it looks like. So here on a lovely bike trail that we just stopped at, and there's some placards that we'll share with you about the wild and wonderful wetlands. And we just came around this wetland behind me here, and then we're heading farther south. So this view is to the north. It's a lovely day, much cooler today. As we head south, we have a nice breeze on us, and it's just perfect temperature. Very enjoyable.
Within the last 200 years, 30 to 50% of the wetlands in the U.S. have been lost, mainly to agriculture and development. 94% of the tidal marshes that existed on the San Francisco Bay 150 years ago have been either diked or filled. What can be done?
I wanted to take a moment here and stop as we were riding along on this beautiful soft surface trail. And behind me right here is the new specification for a soft surface, or what we came across on the Katy Trail. And then if I pan behind me, now the
and Deb's back there. This surface is the old surface right here that used to be used, and it's just so much more bumpy and it's just not smooth. So we're finding that the new surfaces are just really nice and they can be smoothed out super easy. It's just so much better than something like asphalt. We're in this really nice trail right here, and it's, as you can see, it's all fenced off. You can't get to it. And then you come over here
And you can hardly get out of it.
and you can barely get out of it. This is what they gave us. We had to lift the rear wheel around and around and around, and now we're going to finally fit it out. And Deb, thanks for all your lift power.
Whoa. Yeah, about 3 or 4, 4-inch moves to
Yeah.
get around this
Right.
stuff.
So not quite bike friendly. Just riding along this canal on the trail here, and there's apartments on my other side that I'm looking at right here, but behind me are goats that are grazing to, I guess, keep the vegetation down and keep everything in form.
Kevin calls them brine pits and I call them salt flats. But here they are. So they're right up our trail. And
Well, we're here on day 5 here in San Leandro, California, and yesterday after we saw our goat adventure along the Alameda River Trail, we had a little bit of heavy traffic. We had to negotiate. Ended up doing a stop at a Costco for a sundae and a churro, and then back on the road we had some more nice soft surface trails right along the water, and then here into our hotel. So this morning, we leave here from San Leandro, and we're heading back to our van in Fairfield. And today's trip is 55 miles planned and about 2,200 feet of climbing. The beginning of the trip this morning is going to be on roads. It's almost all roads, except for there's some trails later on. I think about 20 miles of trails. And then we have a climb of about 800 feet. And then after about 35 miles, we should be done, and it should be just kind of rollers to get back to the van. So it's been a pretty good adventure so far, and we've really enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to today. How about Deb?
well, you just made it sound like it's a 35-mile day, but
Oh,
it's another 55 or
yeah,
60.
55.
We always manage to turn it into an extra few miles, 60s. And nice hotel, wonderful. Got my rib steak last night for dinner, and we didn't have to venture out. And they had a hot tub, so very
Yeah.
nice spot.
Yeah, so it was a lovely evening. So looking forward to today.
Well, we've been pretty much riding today, and we're at mile 35 right now. And since about mile 14, we've been all on a bike trail. And it looks as though our bike trail activity is ending, and we're going to be on the road for a while, heading north. The winds were in our face earlier, and now it seems that we're having tailwinds. And also the temperatures are starting to pick up a little bit, and it's getting warmer.
We were having a hard time keeping warm just because the trail seemed mostly the only part of the area in the shade, which is nice on a hotter day, but getting to about 60 degrees, so 65 maybe now.
Yeah, but now it seems that we're in the open and more into the wind now, and it's so taking it home. We got about 20 miles to go, and without any wrong turns, that is. Yeah, we'll have 20 miles to go, and wrong turns will give us more.
Show them the red barn over there, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
And there's Kevin headed to the barn.
So Deb says that red barn is what we're heading for, but that's not quite right. We're heading to the van, but we're heading to the barn. So yeah, so our trail that we've been on is pretty much that. That's probably the worst section right here against Interstate 680. And then we're heading over here to road. So away we go. So we're on the top of this last bridge crossing. Noise is just really loud, booming. And I think this is the Benicia Bridge, but I'm not 100% sure. We had a really long climb to get to the top, and coming off the bridge looks fairly flat. So we're about 12 miles from the van now, and just about completed our 5-day journey.
Yay!
Yay for him. So, just about there. Well, we're 5.4 miles from our car, and we reached this sign that says it's closed, and it says we cannot go past this point. So I'm just not sure what to do, whether we need to ride the freeway or there's no detour at all. So, I mean, I guess we have to ride the freeway. How was that experience? Not doing it. Well, we made it back to our van. A harrowing trip of about 2.5 miles on Interstate 80 with no detour provided on a dedicated bicycle route and no other alternatives. But it all worked out fine in the end, even though the interstate we're not supposed to be riding on. However, we did anyway for the 2.5 miles. So it's good to be back. All was safe. Actually, today was a pretty good day, I would say, other than the last 5 miles. So what do you say, Deb?
Oh, I only waved out one truck and one car that were coming a little too close to the white line. It was a wide shoulder and has a rumble strip, and it was clean, but it's still freeway nonetheless. And a couple miles is as good as 10 feet if that's your time.
Right.
So I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we're off the roads, and we'll hope for a safe freeway drive in the van.